So if you're here, you are probably here because you watched my top 5 movies for 2014 and saw that I put all of Marvel movies as my number 2. And, you know, that is kind of cheating, but kind of have to admit that Marvel has pretty much taken over cinema and taken all the good spots and the good times for movies to come out. But being a Marvel fan, I love it. And what you might be saying is, yes, the title of the video is top 5 Marvel movies of 2014, and there's only 4 Marvel movies coming out. Incorrect. Yes, you are correct in the sense that there are 4 Marvel live features that are coming out, but you did forget about the new Marvel Studios animated feature coming out called Big Hero 6. And yes, it is a Marvel animated feature. And it's an original created via collaboration with Disney and Pixar. So that's my number 5. And it's my number 5 because I don't really know anything about it. I just know it's an animated feature about superheroes set in this kind of fake Asian town that looks like San Francisco, and it's collaboration with Pixar and Disney. But I'm excited. Like I'm looking forward to it. If I don't know how much Pixar's involved, but I really like The Incredibles. I thought that was one of Pixar's better features that isn't talked about as much as it should be. I don't know if that's because Brad Bird made it or what, but that's my number 5. My number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's not and I don't really know much about the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I can tell you, it's not because of Rocket Raccoon, it's not because of Groot, it's not because of Gamora, it's not because of Star-Lord, it's not because of Groot, I already said Groot, it's not because of Drax, it's because of Thanos. If you watched through the credits in Thor 2, you would know that the Collector is in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the first guy in the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos goes after to get his first Infinity Gem. And, you know, Thanos is the guy in the end of Avengers where he turns his head and everyone was thinking, oh, Thanos in Avengers 2, but then Marvel threw a curveball. You know, it's like, no, Ultron in Avengers 2. You're going to have to wait till Avengers 3 for Thanos, unless you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's not confirmed, but it's kind of obvious with the setup. Oh, this is just me speculating because I'm such a Marvel fan. Does that mean that Thanos is just going to kill all of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Or does that mean that in order to set up for the Avengers 3, that the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to meet up with Tony Stark? Because that has happened recently in the comics, and that's pretty much the only way we can bridge the gap from the Guardians of the Galaxy to Thanos. But, I mean, this is just me all over the place. At the end of Avengers 1, that dude played by, what's his name from How I Met Your Mother, who's the girl from American Pie's husband, said to Thanos, to go after humans is to court death. And you know, Thanos is all about death. I mean, alright, go back on to my number 3. So my number 3, it's really tough to decide which one I'm more excited for. But in this deciding who's 3 or 2, it is entirely dependent on the trailer. But my number 3 is Days of Future Past. The reason I'm so nervous for this one is it's kind of hard to do this story because it involves time travel, it involves the future, it involves the past, it involves the present time. But if they do it right, there will be an X-Force movie in 2015. There will be Apocalypse in 2016, and gosh, if they do it right, I'm just really excited for the idea if they do it right. Number 2, Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I am not a big fan of Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. I honestly feel like Peter Parker is more like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 1, where he is a nerdy kid who has, trouble even talking to girls and is unpopular and gets picked on. And then that's why we love him, because he's so human. But in The Amazing Spider-Man, he ends up being this skateboarder who's kind of cool, but just doesn't really give an F about the world around him, and kind of just plays with his superpowers. And I don't know. But what does excite me about Amazing Spider-Man 2 is what's going to happen to Gwen Stacy, because we do have an incarnation of the Green Goblin in it, and we do have Gwen Stacy. All you Marvel fans out there, I'm chomping at the bit because I know there has not been spoilers out, so I'm not gonna. But if you want to know, look for yourself. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. My number one is Captain America: Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is an awesome character, and the trailer, if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It'll change your life. And they're gonna set it for Age of Ultron. It's totally obvious. S.H.I.E.L.D. is getting out of hand, and Ultron is created. Ultron was created by Hank Pym to reduce the need for superheroes. But it makes sense because S.H.I.E.L.D. gets out of hand, and Captain America's like, no, that's not American. And then if S.H.I.E.L.D. gets out of hand and thinks like, oh, well, if one superhero can get our way, let's just take away the need for superheroes. It's so weird, like with Marvel movies nowadays. It's like we're excited for the movie and the end credit scene. Thor, I had no idea that we were going to go all the way to space to see the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, oh my god, in the movie theaters, and people were looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? But, and of course in the end of Avengers 1, and even Hulk in 2008 with Tony Stark showing up at the end. That was really cool. Totally didn't make sense, but that was really cool. Anyways, that's my top 5 for Marvel movies in 2014. That's my no. Alright, bye-bye.